Well, hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I do have my Hull City prediction and preview ahead of our trip to West Brom tomorrow, which will be in the 15th round of the Championship. We'll be taking on the Baggies. So let's crack into some of my prediction, preview and other stats ahead of this fixture tomorrow, which will promise to be an exciting one. So start off with our injury update. Now you'll probably see there's a man in the centre there that we do not want to see when the word injury is occurring. And yes, unfortunately, Jaden Philogene will miss out this trip to West Brom through an injury that he's picked up in training of all places. On Tuesday, it reported to Liam Rosinia that there was a little bit of an injury just behind one of his hamstrings. He's had a scan and everything, and apparently it's only like a week to 10-day injury. But Rosinia does not want to risk anything, especially with the injury only being picked up on Tuesday. So Jaden Philogene has been outrightly told that he's going to miss out this game, so we will not see the magician of Jaden Philogene in this fixture. So it'll give an option for another bit of rotation in there. Possibly it would mean, because Tyler Morton has been given the all clear that he will be back for this game, it could possibly mean that we'll just see a straight swap for them two from the starting 11 from last game. But other than that, there's no other injury updates. Rosina did report saying that the under-21s fixture that was meant to take place on Halloween that got postponed. That was meant to feature about, I think, 10 or so of the first team players that haven't had much game time recently due to injury or whatever, and give them some game time that they need, not because they're not involved in the squad anymore, just because they need that game time to stay fit for the points later on in the season where they will be needed. We look at the likes of Timothy Lotitalos and Tufan, Aaron Connolly, the guys that haven't really been featured too much, pretty much since the last few international breaks. So hopefully that will get rearranged, and hopefully we will see them guys get some game time. If it's not tomorrow, hopefully it's in some sort of capacity with the under-21s. So let's start off with my starting 11, my predicted starting 11, powered by our friends over at Fanhub. So if you don't know what Fanhub is, it's a fantastic app that you can basically put your prediction in, you can check yourself in at games, get rewarded, get free rewards, basically for just being a fan of any club. Don't have to be Hull City. But I do have a link, I do have a code. Go down to the description down below, there'll be the link that'll take you to all of their download and stuff. Use the golden ticket code HUL-IZR, that's my code. You'll get rewarded for using that code, so why not but use it, and you also get to skip the queue coming into the app, which means you'll be ready for tomorrow for any game that you will be going to. Don't have to be Hull City, but of course. So we'll start off with this is what I think the starting level will look like. We'll go into a bit more detail in a second. So I do think it will be the traditional 4-2-3-1 that Rosini likes to play with. Of course, we do know that can flip and alter and change and twist and turn throughout the full 90 minutes with Rosinia, and you'll notice there's a few little differences in there. So we'll start off with the man that's in net. I do think that Ryan Alsop will retain his spot in net. Rosina's clearly come out and stated that he is very impressed with Alsop's performance so far in a Hull City shirt. He's even quoted him as one of the best distributors even in the Premier League. I mean, we're not in the Premier League, so I don't know how he is one of the best distributors in the Premier League, but apparently he is one of the best distributors of goalkeeper-wise in the Premier League. So if Rosina's coming out saying that, a man who's played in the FA Cup final with Hull, man that's gone up to the Premier League with Hull, and played in the Premier League, that's saying something, especially under the current form of Alsop. So can't see that changing. Matt Ingram obviously is there, and he has quoted on saying that Matt Ingram is probably going to be a key part later on in the season, possibly when we can see around Christmas, when we can see a few fixtures happening in the space of a few days. That could possibly be a point, or even if Alsop, God forbid, gets injured or anything. So Ingram apparently is training well, and obviously he's just had the birth of his child, so he's ready there if we need him. Louis Coyle retains at right back. I can't see really things changing. I know we came into this season saying, no, the right back spot is very much fine. And then we've kind of we've seen the performance of Louis Coyle and also Cyrus Christie, the two players that we thought that were going to probably hold down that right back spot. And Louis Cole has been the better of the two when no one really saw that coming into the season. We all saw Cyrus Christie thought, Cyrus Christie, he's a fantastic player. He did brilliantly last season, grabbed a few goals, grabbed loads of assists, was playing fantastically defensively and also pushing forwards. But we haven't really seen that too much recently. So Louis Cole, he is the better choice at right back. I know, it may annoy some of you for me to say that, but he is, you've got to admit it. Other than that, Alfie Jones, he regains his spot at centre-back. He had a few little slip-ups in the last game last weekend. But other than that, he's still a very, very solid centre-back at this level. And I can't see Brazilian probably kicking him out of the starting 11 for the whole season unless he has to. Sean McLaughlin, he has been a fantastic addition in these past few games. The 2 games that he's played since coming back to the starting 11, both have been clean sheets, both have been games that Hull City have won. So Sean McLaughlin, if he got removed from the starting 11, that would be a sham. That would be a massive sham, especially considering the fact that I do think Jacob Greaves will also gain his spot at left back. James Furlong was one of the players that was meant to feature in this under-21s game on October the 31st that was postponed. So whether that means that Furlong is not quite ready in Rosinia's eyes just because of game time for him, that's one to be evaluated. Of course, we do have Ruben Vinagre. He is probably a key player off the bench at the moment, just for the main factor of we've seen start of the season where we've played him too much and that's not been too beneficial. So definitely a player that we can keep for the longevity this season and try and use him towards the latter stages to help if we are in that promotion push, to get us up to the promotion push. Moving a bit forwards, Jean-Michel Seri. I do think Seri is probably one of the key players in the starting 11. He's pretty much as guaranteed as a goalkeeper to start, really, isn't he? Don't think the only games that he's missed in Hull City yet have been due to injury, and I think that's it. Or maybe one time due to him playing internationally and not making it back in time or something. So he's pretty much a key player in this starting 11. Tyler Morton, of course, I did announce at the start of the video that he will be back for this game. I think he'll probably slot straight back into the first team, starting 11. I can't really see too many people picking up this spot. The only one that you could probably argue for is Greg Doherty. And even then, I don't think that he is ready enough to play at least 60 minutes, if not the full game, that he'll probably play if he starts in that CDM role. Of course, he was one of the players on that October 31st game that was cancelled, so that's obviously saying something. He's been playing a good few 30 minutes here and there in the past few games, and then of course with Regan Slater being out, and he probably won't be back until after this November international break, so it's going to be a bit of a hit and miss in defensive midfield department, but it's good to see Tyler Morton back, and I do think that he'll start off this game. Adama Traore, he's been doing fantastically, I think, really picking up off the back of this sort of return to good form that Hull City have seen through Jane and Philogene, and I think he's sort of taken a little bit of liking to and a little bit of inspiration of Jane and Philogene, so I can't really see him being taken out of the starting 11. Neither with Jason Lakilo. I thought that he played fantastically in the last game last weekend. I thought that he was one of really the key players on the pitch. If you did not see my vlog, I've started doing little player reviews at the end. I'll be doing that after tomorrow's game, so we'll see how he plays tomorrow. It's definitely going to be one that we need to sort of touch base on a few times, especially in sort of the start of his Hull City career, as he's not had a lot of game time considering the likelihood of some of the other new signings that they've had their game time, but Jason Lakilo is certainly one that I think will be a good player at this level for Hull City, whether that just be for this season or for the seasons in the future. Of course, we do have him on a permanent deal. Scott Twine, I've just noticed on this photo, he's wearing number 25 there. He's number 30. Scott Twine, yeah, it's one with Scott Twine where he was brought in for his free kick ability. Yes, he's maybe had a few good free kicks, but other than that, there's been no goals. His corners have been absolutely atrocious. And maybe in the last sort of 5-10 minutes of that game against Preston last weekend, where he was probably one of the better players on the pitch just because of his pure sort of adrenaline going, pushing and driving to try and get something. But Rosini's come out and praised him. He said that that's really what he's here for. Of course, he doesn't have his goal, and everyone knows that he doesn't have a goal yet, and he'll probably be pushing for that in this game. You have to stay tuned if I have predicted him to score. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. But I can't really see him budging from starting 11, especially when Rosini's come out specifically before the game and stated how much of a player that he is needed in that starting 11. So there's only one last player, and that's Liam Delap. Of course, with Jane Philogene missing out, Aaron Connolly not having too much game time, he was one of the players meant to be on that October 31st game. So Liam Delap's pretty much the only striker that's had the game time and is also fit at the moment. So can't see him budging. And of course, he has had a brilliant start to the season, and he played brilliantly for certainly the first 45 minutes against Preston. I thought that he was fantastic. So in some other news, I thought I'd touch base on this. Today marks 1 year with Rosinia being our head coach. Yes, he was signed on the 5th, or he was signed on this day last year. And of course, his first game was on the 5th of November, which will be in 2 days' time. Of course, last year everything was a day behind because of how the years work. Yeah, that's how life works. So of course, 1 year of Liam Rosinia, and he's been one of the best managers in the Championship over that stretch of that year. I think Hull City within this last year have been points wise top 6, I believe, which is fantastic to say that when he got a hold of the club, we were in a relegation battle with a massive negative goal difference. He managed to tighten that up pretty much instantly, and then take us on quite an extraordinary run to take us back up to where some people thought it may happen. We may get a playoff push after all. So let's break into some of our last meetings between both sides. Of course, we met last season with both of us being in the Championship. Last time we played at West Brom was that 5-2 loss. I was there. I do have the vlog. Whether you do want to go and watch it is another thing. I mean, there was 7 goals in quite a bit of a sloppy game. All things considering, it was a game where we were heavily into sort of the defeats. It was deep into the Shotter era. I think that Shotter may have got the sack just after this game. I think that's how it was. And of course, we was against Steve Bruce, handing Steve Bruce his first win at West Brom during that season. So it was an alright game, to be fair, but just not for us. So, of course, then we met them this year in March, a 2-0 win at home, very authoritative. So, yeah, it's definitely a different situation from then. Of course, the table does tell the story. Hull City currently sits in 7th, West Brom just above us in 5th, and that is just on the pure factor of goal difference. I mean, if we win tomorrow, we could see ourselves bounding up to 3rd, of course, depending on the other results. I believe Leeds play tonight, so this may alter by the time you're watching the video. I'm not sure when you're watching it, but as I'm recording it, Leeds haven't played, so this is how the table currently stands. So we could possibly go above Leeds tomorrow. Certainly, we are tied 5th on goal difference, and that's just because the pure fact of West Brom scored 2 and conceded 2 less than us. A player to watch out for then, I think that John Swift, he has had a cracking start to the season with West Brom. He came to them this summer on a permanent transfer from Reading, and during that time he played 11 games for the Baggies, grabbing 6 goals and 1 assist in the Championship, which is pretty good, considering that he is still in sort of that prime-ish era for his age, or maybe just, I think he's just out of it. I think he's just 27, 28, 8. Yeah, somewhere around there. So that's not too bad, but he is the player to watch out for, I think, in this game. So my score prediction, I do think that Hull City will grab a 2-0 win. Of course, our defence has been solid since changing the back line to that Coyle, Jones, McLaughlin and Greaves set up. So I do think that we will keep the clean sheet and then also push on to grab 2 goals. West Brom do like to live life on the edge. Their last game was a 2-0 win against Coventry in a game where Coventry had, I think, 65% possession and also on the back of that 14 shots. So it's West Brom are definitely currently a side that are not playing that traditional style of football that you'd come to see in the Championship, certainly during this era. So it'll be an interesting match to see how Rosinia shapes up his tactics around that. But I do think Hull City will go on and grab a 2-0 win and sending us a little bit further up that table. Goals for the Tigers. I think the first one will come through Liam Delap. I think that he'll grab his, 5th, 6th of the season. He's been on firing form so far. And I think Scott Twine, he'll grab his first goal in a Tiger shirt, whether that be from a free kick, whether that be from open play, who knows. But I do think that Scott Twine will finally grab his first Hull City goal in this game against West Brom tomorrow. And also, I will be live streaming the game right here on this YouTube channel. Tomorrow, I'll be live from about 2:30 to give you all the pre-match goodness, and then it'll be a nice little watch-along party. Come on, join us, and there's loads of fun. We have a good old time trying to watch the Tigers win that game. So subscribe, like to get notified when I do go live, and then I'll also be a little thing on the channel just before or just after this video goes live. You can click notify and you'll get notified when I go live. So other than that, make sure you do like and subscribe so you don't miss that live stream and also the rest of the content that I will be posting out on this YouTube channel following hopefully a successful win against West Bromwich Albion. Let me know down in the comments what your score prediction is for this game and any other extra information you'd like to let me know. That will be all down in the comments. And also don't forget to check out Fanhub in the description. Use my code, you get rewarded, and you also get to bypass the queue. See you next time.